Hi, I'm Nathan Ulmer, and for my story, I picked number 8. My 5 words were forest, sister or brother, a faraway land, fierce, and mermaid. The last sentence had to be, and once the magic word was uttered, the spell was broken, and he or she was human once again. So, here you go, here's my story. Once upon a time, a beautiful princess traveled across the sea to an exotic island. Each year, her family would vacation on the white sandy shores. Normally, they played in the waves, enjoyed the warm sun, and explored the dark green jungles. One day, she and her brother were exploring the jungles. They came across an overgrown area much like a forest. Green vines dressed the trees just like Christmas lights. Sharp rocks lined the sides of the mountain, but in the distance was a very small, narrow opening to a dark, fierce-looking cave. As she adventured inside the cave, she found a small sea glass vase. The vase was beautiful. She was so stunned by its beauty that she never thought about its history. Her brother tried to stop her, but she immediately opened the top. A mist appeared, and an angry, ancient sea god appeared. He immediately cursed the beautiful princess, and she turned into a mermaid. As she slipped into the pool of water, her life forever changed. Her brother was told the curse would never be broken unless the prince would declare his love to her as a mermaid. He would have to speak the words, "I love you," and then she would turn into a beautiful princess of her youth. From then on, the little mermaid lived a simple life. She gathered shells, swam among her fish friends, and kept the island creatures happy. Yet her one desire was to become human again. She longed to go back to a faraway land where her family lived. Yearly, the island held a big celebration. The celebration marked the survival of an ancient volcano eruption. Everyone knew that the ancient angry sea god's fury caused the massive top to explode. As all the island creatures gathered into the north side of the island, the small village became a huge festive party. Fireworks blasted through the night sky, and mounds of food covered the tables. It was her favorite time of year. During the celebration, Bully the Blowfish arrived, and with his puffed out gills. His gills were rough, his color was ugly, and he was angry. All the creatures moved to the side and watched as he walked into the village. But Bully the Blowfish owned the coral palace on the south side of the island. He loudly explained that a large ship had arrived, and it was so large that it cut through his palace. The damage was devastating. Everyone started to listen to his raging outburst. He explained that the ship was lined with gold, and it had a royal seal marked on the side. But Bully the Blowfish did not care who owned the ship. All he cared about was that his palace was in shambles. As he again puffed out his gills, he wanted everyone to gather around. He came up with a plan that everyone tormented the human guests. Everyone was very upset that the coral had been damaged, so all the creatures agreed. Once it became dawn, they would torment the special ship. The Little Mermaid was known for her kindness to strangers, and in her heart, the plan seemed so wrong. She began to wonder, what if the owner of the ship didn't know about the damage to the coral? What if he or she would have been so kind to pay for the damage? She tried to talk to her friends about meeting the owner, but no one wanted to meet the owner. Humans, of course, were strange to all the island creatures, but to the Little Mermaid, she was not afraid to talk to them. Just before dawn, the Little Mermaid made her way to the seashore. She did her usual gathering of shells, but today she gathered shells near the large, expensive ship. When the sun finally made it over the mountains, she could see the markings on the ship. It was a royal ship from a faraway land. She slowly made her way through the water, hoping to warn the owner of the ugly plan. As she approached the ship, the handsome prince appeared. He noticed her fine turquoise fin and all lined with silver. He gazed at her as though he had never seen a mermaid before. She would disappear under the water and then reappear with a welcome sigh. He came closer to the edge and greeted her with a simple wave. She swam back to the shore, hoping that he would meet her on the shore. With curiosity, the prince lowered the tender and made his way to the shore. He was hoping that he could meet the creature that was so beautiful. His tender settled on the shore, and he walked around looking in different pools for her. Finally, around a small bend, Little Mermaid was waiting on a nearby rock. As they exchanged words, she finally told him that Boy the Blowfish was angry and had no and he had no idea that the damage was done to the Coral Palace. He right away asked if there was anything he could do to fix the issue. His kindness made her very attracted to the foreign prince. Immediately, she wondered if he would be the prince to break the curse. For days, the prince worked on repairing the Coral Palace, and Boy the Blowfish learned to like the foreign human. It seems all the creatures were attracted to the prince's kindness, but soon it was time for the prince to leave his vacationing island, and just before he went back to his ship, the prince walked around the once familiar bend to see the Little Mermaid was in her cove. The Little Mermaid was simply gathering shells when the prince appeared. As he walked closer, he held her hand and looked into her eyes and said goodbye. Yet the handsome prince seemed to have one more thing to say. As he looked at her again, he said, "I love you." And once the magic words were uttered, the spell was broken and she was human once again. Well, there you go. That is the end of my story. Thank you very much.